So, in the words of Senator Palpatine, a surprise to be sure, but a welcome one. As on the day we're recording this, they're just like, "Hey, today is Last of Us Day," and I'm going, "Oh, okay, well, whatever that means." And then, with a few hours after they announced that, they're like, "Here's your first official trailer for the Last of Us series coming to HBO." And bro, so like, I've been excited for this project because I was like, they could make this work. There's enough interesting material in The Last of Us, but I wasn't expecting this much in terms of like, what? You just what? So as I'm trying to find my words here, I wasn't expecting this much attention to detail when it comes to the source material. Trying to remember, Josh, have you played the first one?
I've played a good bit of it. I want to say at least 3 or 4 hours, which is, in the scope of the game, not that much. So I have like a general-ish knowledge of it. I The attention to detail of what I have played is definitely there, and it's very interesting. Seeing what the actual the clickers look like, because they don't call them zombies, right? They're like straight up.
Yeah, they're clickers.
Yeah, straight up clickers. Straight up clickers. They're actually kind of terrifying, and I'm not prepared for them to deal with that.
The clicker noise, I was not expecting to be as accurate as it was.
It makes, because in the game it very much makes you nervous, and golly, did it make me nervous in this. So especially with them waiting out in front of that window, and like them just kind of like it kind of unfurling. It's very, 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 very cool. Pop, our boy Joel. Gosh, I feel so bad. Remind me the guy
Pedro Pascal.
Pedro. Yes, I wanted to say Pablo, and I was like, no, that's not right. Don't do that.
Pablo Pascal
my boy is just like he's decided he just wants to play begrudging fathers now. So that's just what he's going to go from series to series and play begrudging fathers. Next up, Pedro is going to be cast as the lead in the God of War movie show.
You say that. No, knowing your luck and just how much you have bad luck as much as I do, it'll be like The Rock or something.
I would actually, like, I don't boycott stuff, but if it's The Rock, I actually would boycott that show. No, I'm good, thank you.
So yeah, this trailer, just I was not expecting it to just pop up for the day, and I've been excited for this, but I've been apprehensive because Uncharted is a thing which is closer to the game's quality. It's probably the closest we've gotten to accurate representation, but then again, that's not really saying much. This is Last of Us, right down to the most minute detail, like when they're hiding in the tube, and then the next shot in the trailer is like the two towers like kind of leaning into each other in the valley. I'm like, I know that location, and then you hear the clicker noise. I'm going, I just instinctually clenched up. I'm like, oh god, no, bottle, throw that way. Like, I'm gonna need somebody to throw bottles throughout this. But then you get a close-up of Joel's watch, and you're just like, oh, the little details. He's wearing the exact same shirt from the intro to the game when he's helping his daughter, who I'm sure will live a long and fruitful life.
I will be curious as to how they handle the opening of the game.
I would love it if the first episode is the beginning. Like, the whole 45 minutes to an hour of the first episode is just him doing day-to-day with his daughter, and then all hell breaks loose, and the episode ends with him holding his dead daughter in his arms. Episode 1. Oh, yes.
Gosh, let's go. Because part of the thing that makes you like really fall for this game is like the first 15-20 minutes you're playing as the daughter and not as Joel. And so you start to really kind of like enjoy being the daughter, and then they just kind of, I guess, spoilers, rip that away from you in a very aggressive way. And there's a lot of things that, at least the parts of the game that I have played, I'm very curious as to how they're going to handle. I'm very curious as to how close to the source material they're going to go, as far as story wise. I'm curious is if they ignore some of the stuff that happens in the second one.
So, given that Neil Druckmann, the guy that wrote and directed both on Last of Us 1 and 2, given that he's helping out with the show, I don't think he's like showrunner. That's the guy from Chernobyl. I don't think that they would take that away because I think that storyline is too important to him. But here's where I don't think it's necessarily bad. I was always under the impression that Joel was going to die in Last of Us 2 anyway.
Hmm.
Spoiler alert. I think where it happens in the games, its placement was poor, and also the order of events in the game is poor. I think had you started the game as Abby, that would have went a long way, and the halfway point in the game is you playing as Abby and killing Joel.
Hmm.
Then it's okay, I've seen Abby's journey. Now I'm actually morally conflicted as opposed to, being like half the streamers that played the game and just jumping out into traffic and watching Abby die. If we're taking a TV approach to this, we can change the order of things. Like maybe we kill Joel in season 4 or season 5, not the beginning of the sequel. Like we're not going to kill Joel in... That was the other issue I think a lot of fans had, myself included, was we just got Joel back type of thing after years away in terms of not having a new game, and to kill him
Yeah.
off so quickly, it felt like there was a game missing between the first one and the second one, given how big of a
Yeah.
given how big of a time gap there was. So now that we have the show, we can have that time gap. We can have the relationship between Ellie and Joel kind of break down over time, so to speak, and then change up the order in which events happen. Because on paper, I don't hate the events of Last of Us 2. I just think you have to move the pieces around to make it more emotionally compelling. Because I get what Druckmann's going for in terms of if you seek out revenge, bury two graves, basically. Like that's an interesting story to tell. It's just the way that they structured it made it an impossible task to get behind Abby, whereas if you just started with Abby, you start to build this rapport and relationship, then you meet it up with the other storyline that we already pre-existing know, then you can kind of get that internal conflict that I'm sure that they're going for. And I
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised if the show goes a long way in terms of repairing that and giving more time as opposed to just, well, we wanted to kill Joel, but we didn't know the structure around it type of thing. Also, we get Ron Swanson in this show. I love that. You get Nick Offerman as Bill. I'm like, yeah.
It'll be anytime we have Nick in, it's gonna be fun. He's fantastic. Again, I know I've said this. I'm just very curious about the show, and I think getting this trailer out of nowhere was fantastic. It's a good trailer to anyway. I think if you're any kind of fan of the Walking Dead series and you have no idea what The Last of Us is, I have every hope that that won't matter. I think this show is going to be built in a way where you will not have had to play the game to understand what's going on in the show, which is kind of relieving because I would love to go back and replay play all the way through the first game. But I don't have that kind of time. So I'm already got to use all my PCO this year to play God of War in one sitting. So
Yeah, I think that's the biggest benefit in this show's favor of even people that don't know the game. If they see this trailer, I think it would capture their attention enough. Of like the HBO brand is strong enough. I'm like, this looks like interesting, compelling television. Now
mhm.
I am curious of like, so I got a clicker, and both those clickers are spot on, and I both love and hate it at the same time. I love to hate it type thing. The sound is right, the aesthetic looks
Mhm.
right. God, if we get that bloater fight in the gym, just the giant nope.
I'm good,
Or
thank
if
you.
we do get to the sequel of get the thing that's in the tunnels going, nope, nope. I look forward to the terror of this show because the game gets incredibly claustrophobic and terrifying. So I can only imagine what it'll look like on HBO, and I'm beyond hyped for this show now. I was already pretty excited, but this trailer, wow.